You have a vision. You have a dream. Congratulations. You're already 10 steps ahead of 95% of the world. Imagine if Michael Jordan was scared of missing. He would have never taken a shot. Imagine if Steve Jobs was afraid of people not liking his product. There would be no iPhone. So ask yourself this: do you want to be a person who fears failure, or do you want to be a person who loves success? Which one? Because you're going to have to pick today. And I'll tell you one thing: one is a failure and one is a success. And if you love success, there is nothing that can stop you. All those negative things people say will mean nothing. They're going to talk about how only 1% make it to the top. Big deal. Want to know something else? Only 1% stick with that fitness program long enough to see results. Only 1% of nerds stick with that video game long enough to get good at it. Only 1% of relationships stick it out to the end. That doesn't mean you have a 1% chance. It just means you can't behave like the 99%. You'll have to do something better than giving up a month from now. Those are just numbers. You want to talk about numbers? Take a look around you, and take a good look around you. Are you like 99% of the people around you? If you are, then you're in the wrong video, my friend. You have to love success just as much, because that's what's going to allow you to get up and go for it. Being scared to fail won't do anything. In fact, when you love success and you start going for it, guess what happens? You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail 10 times, 100 times, maybe even 1,000 times. But that's okay. In fact, failure isn't permanent. Falling isn't permanent. You get right back up and keep going. And this time, you're gonna be stronger, wiser, and you'll be more driven than ever. And for every 10 failures, you'll land one success. You have to love success so much that you're willing to fail 10 times before you can succeed once. That's how a winner does it.
First half, I'm not gonna lie. They had us. We weren't defeated, but they had us. But it took guts, it took an attitude. That's all it takes. That's all it takes to be successful, is an attitude. And that's what our coach told us. He said, hey, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna go out there, you're gonna battle, you're gonna fight, you're gonna do it for one, you're gonna do it for one another. Do it for each other, you're gonna do it for yourself, you're gonna do it for us, and you're gonna go out with this win. And we believe that, we truly did. And it's an awesome feeling. It's an awesome feeling when you truly believe that you're going to be successful. Regardless of the situation, regardless of the scoreboard, you're going to be successful because you put in all the time, all this win.
This is that shot, can't land it. So it is going to be that retake scenario. Crims has the kid.
Close towards CT. Zivnik spots 3 of them out, but it's Olaf again to find Device. And Olaf coming in with 4. He wants the ace, and he gets it. There we go. What a superstar performance from that man.
I was walking down the street, and I saw an old man. Had a hat, suspenders, and a cane. Was about 80 years old. This old man was barely walking. He could walk, but the cane helped a lot. He was struggling. So anyway, he was walking across the street, and he ended up falling. So I went over to go help him. And he gets up, says thank you, and we introduced ourselves. Had a little conversation. Told me his name, and I told him mine. His name was Robert, by the way. And right as he walked away, I told him, this is what I said: Robert, you should stay inside where it's safe, my friend. And Robert turns around and says to me, I love walking, and I love walking way more than I'm afraid of falling. So I asked him, well, what about your safety? Don't you want to live? And he told me this. These are the exact words he said. He said this: Solo, living means doing what you love to do. And if I have to fall here and there to do what I want to do in life, then so be it. and he just walked away. Never saw him again. That was it.
Exact words he said this.
But that statement really had me thinking, and it had me thinking hard because I learned something that day.
I had to fall here and there.
That's when I realized the true key to success.
And so be it.
You see, I always thought if I could just fear the act of failing, and if I fear it like crazy,
Really had me thinking.
I will succeed.
Because
Because I thought the fear would magically motivate me to get out there and start taking action. But after that day,
I always thought if I could
I realized something.
the act of failing, and if
I realized it's the love for success that will lead me to succeeding.
because I thought
So just imagine if Robert feared falling.
get out there and start taking action.
Would he even start walking?
After that day,
Of course not.
I realized
He wouldn't even do what he loved to do. He would sit at home and take no type of action.
succeeding.
But he loved walking.
Just imagine if Robert feared
Wasn't even
falling.
scared to fall.
Would he even start
It gave him life. That's what allowed him to get up and do it. He loved walking so much, he was willing to fall 10 times a day just to do it.
action?
And you have to be the same. So the next time someone tells you, you're gonna fail, you know what you tell them?
That's what allowed him to get up and do it.
Tell them they're right.
Walking so much, he was willing to
But you're not
walk
afraid to
10
fail.
times a day.
You're not afraid to take action. You're not afraid to jump.
So the next time someone tells
You're gonna
you,
fail 10
"You're gonna
times, but you
fail,"
know what?
you know what you tell
It's
them?
cool. Because on the 11th
Tell
time,
them they're right.
you'll succeed.
But you're not afraid to fail.
Oh, you'll
You're
succeed
not afraid
alright.
to take action.
And it'll feel good.
Afraid to jump.
And while you're over here living the life of your dreams and complete happiness, guess where they're gonna be?
Because on the 11th time,
That's right.
you'll succeed.
They'll be failures. The real failures.
Succeed alright.
Over there where it's safe. Scared to
While
fail.
you're over here living the life of your dreams, and
Ironic,
complete
isn't it?
happiness, guess where they're gonna be? Because on the 11th time,
That's right. They'll be failures. The real failures. Over there where it's safe. Scared to
while
fail.
you're over here living the life of your dreams, and
Ironic,
complete
isn't it?
happiness, guess where they're gonna be? That's right. They'll be failures. The real failures. Over there where it's safe. Scared to fail.
life. How beautiful it is. How amazing it is to be able to rise up in the morning and have that sun, life, shine on your face rather than on your grave. What makes life so unique and so beautiful? It is beautiful because whatever you have that you may be facing, what you may be dealing with, life is still good. Life has so many moving parts, but life is always good. Every day is a new day and another opportunity that others may not have. This life that you have been given, this life that you are temporarily holding on to, this life that has been just given to you for only temporary reasons, has more meaning than you can ever imagine. So many people in the world take life for granted instead of realizing that you have to take the opportunity to live it the best way you know how. Now on this journey of life, you're gonna face a significant amount of circumstances, a significant amount of challenges. You're gonna fall into areas that you cannot understand. And maybe it's not in a position for you to understand at that moment. When you start to feel that you are in a position that you don't love your life, then shame on you. Because your life is a beautiful thing. And no one deserves to ruin it. No one deserves to control it. No one deserves to steal your joy. Your life is your life, and you have the right to live it the best way you can. You must discipline yourself and take full control and responsibility for the outcome or whatever it is that you are seeking at this moment. To live it the best way you can. You must discipline yourself and take. There are going to be so many different things that you will embark on. There are going to be so many different things that's going to try to slow you down. There are going to be so many different challenges that you must face. But instead of running away from the challenge, run towards the challenge. Be able to understand that life has meaning. It has reason. And all of these things that you may be thinking that is so hard on you, just remember, sometimes you're gonna have to go through these changes, these circumstances that puts you in a position to make you feel that you're not worthy anymore. But make no mistake, you are worthy. You were created for something. You wasn't created for nothing. Life has a gift of giving, a gift of receiving. And whether if it's good or bad, you got to make sure you understand that these circumstances and these challenges has to happen in your life. You will come to a point that you may feel that you are in a hopeless situation. You may come to a point in your life where you're at the end of a rope and the only thing left to do is to climb up, because you only can do so much for so long. But make sure you're doing much more instead of doing less. Stop stressing about the things that you cannot control and start focusing on the things that you have control of. Take control of your life. Take control of the opportunities. Believe in yourself. And know that it is not over for you. So many people out there in this world right now will try to tell you not to be something that you feel in your heart that you want to be. So many people out there right now are miserable, and they'll try their best to take you with them. Do not let misery control the life that you have. Do not let anyone tell you how to live it. Do not let anyone validate your purpose. Do not let anyone validate your destiny. Someone told you a long time ago that you wasn't worthy. Someone looked you in the eye and said you wasn't gonna make it. I say to you right now that you will make it. I say to you right now that you must make it. I say to you right now that you must tell excuses, fear, and doubt that it has no place in your place of business. For this is your life that you are fighting for. This is your life that you are living for. And make no mistake, no one is gonna do you better than you. Don't wait for something to happen. You make it happen. You make it happen for a reason. And take full responsibility and control of this thing we call life.
You're still here, and you get another chance this day to do better and be better. Another chance to become more of who you were created and what you were created to fulfill this day.
Everyone in the world is capable of living outside the role or beyond the roles that they place themselves in, no matter what it is. You're not just a dad, you're not just a banker, you're not just a brother or a son or a convict. It doesn't matter. Like, everyone is bigger, much bigger, infinitely bigger than the roles they place themselves in, and is capable of reaching potential greater than anything they could imagine. You're not just a banker, you're not just a brother or a son.
You can live the life you desire. It's right there in front of you. But in order to achieve it, you must first see it, then believe it, and then you must graciously ask and train your brain to help you execute your vision. The life you desire. It's right there in front of you. But in order to achieve it,
so when you start to focus and you delete distraction from your life and you start to get seriously invested in doing one thing staggeringly well, and you practice that one thing over and over, a term to think about is mundanity. You do one simple, seemingly insignificant thing every day around your main skill, and it's very mundane, but small daily improvements over time lead to world-class results. Well, here's what happens in your brain. You start to isolate a single neurocircuit around that skill, and that starts to trigger a certain type of brain cell called an oligodendrocyte, which then releases myelin. Myelin is a fatty tissue that starts to wrap around that single neurocircuit related to that main skill you've been practicing. And when myelin starts to wrap around the brain circuit, what happens is you have accelerated learning times, you can see more quickly, heightened perception, and you'll learn more quickly. And that is really the quote-unquote secret of the great producers. It's not a result of some natural gift, but their daily practice, their relentlessness and their grit, their work ethic, and their singular focus and sacrifice. And that is really the quote-unquote secret of the great producers. But their daily practice, their relentlessness and their grit, their
great
work
life
ethic, and their
is built not by revolution. A great life is built by evolution. Small and steady wins the race. What you do every day is far more important than what you do once every decade. I want you to really think about that idea. What you do every day is simply your life in miniature. And as you live every single day, so you're crafting your life. What you do over the next hours is really building your future. And if you can just get every single pocket of 24 hours right as best as we humanly can, the rest of our life is going to take care of itself. So small wins matter.
The scripture says we will eat the fruit of our words. You are planting seeds when you talk. At some point, you're going to eat that fruit. My challenge is make sure you're planting the right kind of seeds. If you want apples, you have to sow apple seeds. If you want oranges, you can't plant cactus seeds, poison ivy seeds, mushroom seeds. You're going to reap fruit from the exact seeds that you've been sowing. In other words, you can't talk negative and expect to live a positive life. You can't talk defeat and expect to have victory. You can't talk lack, not enough, can't afford it, never get ahead, and expect to have abundance. If you have a poor mouth, you're going to have a poor life. If you don't like what you're seeing, start sowing some different seeds. We may not realize it, but we're always feeding ourselves. What we watch, listen to, the people we're around, the thoughts we're dwelling on, that's feeding our inner man. If you go to lunch with people that talk bad about the boss, make fun of a coworker, put down a friend, they're feeding you gossip, feeding you jealousy, feeding you disrespect. Here's the key. Whatever you feed is going to grow. You may not like what they're feeding you. You're a nice person. But if you continue to hang around them, before long, you'll be gossiping. You'll be critical. You'll be disrespectful. Why? Because you kept feeding the wrong things. If you're always feeding negative thoughts, thinking, I'll never get well, I'll never meet the right person, you're feeding doubt, feeding mediocrity, feeding fear. You'll be critical. You'll be disrespectful. Why? Because you kept feeding.
If you know exactly what you want to be, you need to spend as much time with people that are actually that already.
You cannot let a fear of failure or a fear of comparison or a fear of judgment stop you from doing what's going to make you great. You cannot succeed without this risk of failure. You cannot have a voice without the risk of criticism. And you cannot love without the risk of loss. You must go out and you must take these risks. Comparison or a fear of judgment stop you from doing what's going to make you great.
You don't have the time to waste time, because time doesn't wait till you discover your purpose. If you don't know why you was born, time is still moving. And if you discover your purpose at 90 years old, it's too late.
You don't know how young you are. What if you die in 2 years? You're pretty old right now. You got 2 years left. And if you're 50 years old and you're feeling discouraged, well, remember the advice about planting a tree. When's the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago or today? So if you're 50 and you feel like life left you behind, well, get started right now. Better late than never. Better late than never. Don't think about time and age so much. It gets people distracted. When the whole world's distracted, you be focused. Years ago or today. So if you're 50 and you feel like life left
You have to trust your own voice, your own ideas, your honesty, your vulnerability, and through this you will find your way. You do not have to be fearless. Just don't let fear stop you. Live like this as best you can, and I guarantee you will look back on a life well lived. You are capable of greatness in your profession, and more importantly, in your quality of self. You do not have to be fearless. Stay hungry. Stay young at heart. Take those risks. You are going to change the world around you in big ways and in small. You are capable of greatness in your profession, and more importantly, in your quality of self. Stay hungry. Stay young at heart. Take those risks.
But see, anybody, if you want to, can go searching for a good plan, pick it, and start working it. And sure enough, as the time passes, as it surely will 5 years from now, 10 years from now, then you'll be winding up wearing what you want to wear, driving what you want to drive, living where you want to live, become what you want to become. But now's the time to fix the next 10 years. And who can? Anybody.
You were created to give life and make a difference with your gift somewhere. That's why you came to this place.
You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? You want to write a book or make a movie or build a house or a computer or put together some mobile application? Where do you start? You want to get on a workout program? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now. You initiate the action aggressively. You go. Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now. You initiate the action aggressively. You go. Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now.
Do you want to develop consistent good habits like reading, going to the gym every day, learning new languages, or practicing new instruments? Or do you want to kick bad habits like eating unhealthy food, biting your nails, watching too much TV? Do you want to develop consistent good habits?
3 years from now, you can have what you need.
Going to the gym every day, learning
You got to be careful about it. You can't have everything. You can have what would be good for you, but you have to figure out what it is, and then you have to aim at it.
watching too much TV?
We know that sometimes you can be uncomfortable, but you can be uncomfortable and hopeful rather than uncomfortable and fearful.
People go through their lives without knowing what it is they want to do.
You don't have to be where you think you want to be in order to be happy. You just got to be on the way to where you want to be in order to be happy.
You're going to get what you're looking for. So if you're looking for success, you're looking for happiness, you're looking for prospects, you're looking for recruits or clients, I'm telling you, the more you're consciously looking for those things, you're going to see them. When you're looking to win, you're looking for victory. You're going to get what you're looking for.
Sit on your bed one day and ask yourself, what remarkably stupid things am I doing on a regular basis to absolutely screw up my life? And if you actually ask that question, but you have to want to know the answer, right? Because that's actually what asking the question means. It doesn't mean just mouthing the words. It means you have to decide that you want to know. Remarkably stupid things am I doing on a regular basis.
And so be very careful what you set your mind towards, what your outcomes are, because you're going to find them. Your mind's powerful. You're powerful. You're more powerful than you think you are. And if you could just get clear on what you're looking for, get super specific with great clarity, great specificity about what it is you want, it's sitting there for you to find if you look for it.
The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great.
Right there and then, you have an opportunity to steer your thoughts and your emotions in the direction that you want them to go, not in the direction that they're telling you to go. In other words, you can literally choose to seize the day, or you can let the day seize you. Right there and then.
If you're fearful all the time, your point of attraction is very far from what you really want. If you're ornery all the time, or a lot of the time, your point of attraction is different from what you want. Your emotions are your indicator of what you're doing vibrationally. You've been listening to us long enough to sort of understand what we mean by that?
Don't worry about what needs to be done. Think about who you have to be in order to get it done.
Your emotions are your indicator of what you're doing vibrationally. You've been listening.
Did you ever have a dream that was so big that you thought it was almost impossible to achieve?
Don't worry about.
I've had those dreams. And while not every dream has become a reality, along the way I learned a powerful approach of picturing that has helped me achieve most. Did you ever have a dream? Since that day I've had other dreams, other big dreams. And in each case I would picture where I wanted to be, and I would visualize what I would be doing and who I would be doing with when I got there. The powerful approach of picturing that has helped me achieve. As the saying goes, you can't make a basket if you never take the shot. Other big dreams. And in each case, I knew I would miss the shot sometimes, and the failure would dampen my spirit, but I would be better off for my efforts and I would be okay. As the saying goes, you can't make a
People are addicted to all kinds of things, substances. But one of the greatest addictions, or one of the greatest addiction, never actually, you never read about it in the papers, because the people who are addicted to it don't know it. It's the addiction to thinking. It's actually addictive. Can't stop thinking. It's like can't stop drinking, can't stop smoking, can't stop eating, can't stop thinking.
You have the option of taking it hard or taking it easy, of making the worst of it or making the best of it, of giving it your undivided attention, of giving it very little of your attention. You have more control over your focus than most of you have been exercising. And when you begin caring about how you feel more than everything else put together, so that you exercise your ability to focus upon things that do feel good, you begin to discover that in every particle of the universe there is that which is wanted and lack of it. Most of you have been exercising, and when you begin
My visualization has helped me achieve most of my goals. And what I learned along the way is it didn't take twice as much effort. It only took an extra 10%.
When we fail, life continues as it is. We can stay in our comfort zone. Success, on the other hand, challenges us. It pushes us and it exposes us to rejection. How are we going to manage this new success? When we fail, life continues as it is.
If you're not happy, you're not successful. If you're not enjoying yourself during the process of whatever it is you're trying to achieve, there's a problem. To me, the biggest disease on this planet is unhappiness. And the reason why people are unhappy is because we have a tendency to keep focusing, as I said, on what we don't have and what's not working in our lives, instead of allowing ourselves to shift our focus and our way of thinking. To me, the biggest disease on this
People always want to be like, follow your dreams, follow your dreams, follow your dreams. My dream was always to be a rap artist, right? But I had to get a job. So I had to focus on my job. And then I made money. to follow my dream. People always want to be like, follow
One of the main reasons that people don't get what they want is because they don't actually figure out what it is.
rap artist, right?
And the probability that you're going to get what would be good for you, let's say, which would even be better than what you want, right? Because, you know, you might be wrong about what you want easily. But maybe you could get what would really be good for you.
You have the freedom to think anything you want. You were born extremely confident. You came into this world knowing how wonderful you are. So choose new thoughts to think about yourself, and choose new words to tell yourself how magnificent you are, and that you deserve all the good that life has to offer. First thing in the morning and last thing in the evening, I want you to look into your eyes and say, I love you. I really love you. How magnificent you are, and that you deserve all the good that life has.
Your first goal, this is what I'm suggesting, your first goal when you open up your eyes should be to focus on the things that ignite your spirit and bring you joy. I want you to focus on the things that you appreciate in your life, the things that you're grateful for. I don't care who it is or what it is. Maybe it's the person lying next to you. Maybe you're thinking of your children. Maybe you're thinking of the dog or the cat lying by the side of the bed. A particular goal that you achieved. Maybe there's an event coming up on the weekend. Maybe you're meeting with your friends for lunch. You see, folks, it doesn't matter who it is or what it is. There's always something to be grateful for, to appreciate. And what I'm asking you to do in those few moments before you crank and get into your day is to focus on these things. Then why am I asking you to do this? Because an attitude of gratitude simply makes you feel good. And feeling good is the fuel that drives motivation.
We've all made wrong choices, done things that we knew were not the best. It's one thing when other people do us wrong. We had a bad break. It wasn't our fault. We can have faith that God will restore. He'll pay us back. But when we bring the trouble on ourselves, when we blow it, it's easy to live in regrets, thinking that God's not going to help us. We made the mess. But here's the beauty. God knew you would mess up before He called you. He knew we would get off course, at times give in to temptation. He didn't base His plan for your life on you making perfect decisions. God knew you would mess up.
Through success, I represent the possibilities of what you can achieve and what you can do with your life and your career. Other people's success represents the possibility of what you can do. Those are the records that you can sell. Those are the type of tours that you can do. Those are the kind of songs that you can produce and the songs that you can write. Those are the millions of dollars that you can get, or billions. Those are the type of architectural drawings and buildings that you can build. Those are the type of books that you can sell. Everybody else's success represents the possibility of what you can do. Those are the millions of dollars that you can get, or billions. Those are the type of architectural drawings and buildings that you can build. Those are the type of books that you can sell. Everybody else's success represents the possibility of what you can do. Those are the millions of dollars that you can get, or billions. Those are the type of architectural drawings and buildings that you can build. Those are the type of books that you can sell. Everybody else's success represents the possibility of what you can do. Those are the millions of dollars that you can get, or billions. Those are the type of architectural drawings and buildings that you can.
I remember being on my job with no possibility of a future. And I will never forget the moment that a man walked up to me and looked me in my eyes and told me that this was the best I would be able to do. And I came to the resolve in that very moment that greatness would be my new norm. What he said to me hit me hard. It was a metaphoric, massive blow to my face. But like a wise man once said, you gotta pick your head up like your nose is bleeding. And right where they left you for dead, elevate where he told me I would retire from. that this was the end of the line, I came to the resolve that I would not believe the lie. I could hear it in the air that the voice of destiny would reside in the place where he wanted me to die. I made the decision to fight for my future. I came to the resolve that I would not believe the lie.
You will not pause.
That the voice of destiny would reside.
You will progress. You will not expire. You will evolve. You will not crumble in the midst of crises. You may be neck deep in what seems to be a catastrophic storm of chaos, but I pray that in this moment you will find the calm, the peace, the hope, the faith, the courage, the expectancy you need to live and not die. To move up and not stay where you are. You get what you see. And that is the formula for expectancy. Your expectation is what you believe is about to happen. And for many of you, you have been so traumatized by the past that your expectations are so diminished. Your expectations have been dying a slow death because of the trauma of the past. You expect nothing. And so you feel like, if I don't expect anything, then you can't hurt me. If I have no expectation on you, then you cannot disappoint me. If you are going to win the fight for the future, you are going to have a high expectation. It was Kobe Bryant that said everything negative, pressure, and challenges is all an opportunity for me to rise. It's crises that reveals what we are comprised of. And I ask you the question, are you praying the darkness away, or are you becoming the highest version of yourself in the midst of the darkness? You know, when you find yourself standing in the middle of trial, tribulation, scarcity, and uncertainty, there is a process from flapping to flight. How you process pain will determine your future. I need you to fight for the future. In the middle of trial, tribulation, scarcity, and uncertainty. Let that sink in for a minute. From flapping to flight, how you process pain will determine your future. I need you to fight for the future. You are not your crises. You are not what you are going through. What are you expecting the outcome to be? Because you can't change what has happened. However, you can change what will happen. You are not your crises. You are not what you are going through. What are you expecting? Your responsibility is, once you've gone from flapping to flight, is to protect your progress, to protect your territory. You got to get a real boss-like mentality with your territory. All the ground that you gain, protect your territory. I ask you the question, when are you going to stop thinking that you are what you are going through? When we step into elevation and we get that, what I like to call that bird's eye view, we gain a greater perspective when we zoom out. And too many of you are guilty of becoming what you are going through. You are not what you are going through. See, in the game of life, those who have an elevated perspective will inherit the future. And it is time for you to fight for your future. How bad do you want the future? I want you to let that question sink in. Because the day you stop quacking with ducks and start flying with the eagles, all of a sudden everything changes. But you know, for many of you, you are addicted to the company of the duck. I need you to scrupulously examine the landscape of your relationships. Because if nobody told you, let me be the first one to tell you, separation precedes elevation. It's a lot of people in your life that are holding you down, that are holding you back. There are some people you are going to have to let go of in order to elevate above the noise, above the dysfunction, to be a light shining brilliantly through the darkness, above the uncertainty. high above all murky waters, beyond the pain of the test and trial. Elevated people will always ask themselves, what did I learn in the midst of it all? King David said in Psalms 119:71, it was good for me that I had been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. And when you're stepping in this space, in this realm, in this world of elevation, you are not asking God, why am I in pain? You are asking God, what am I getting ready to become? With high expectation, elevated people will ask themselves, what am I getting ready to become? And what will I learn in the midst of this? While the world is in panic, while the world is perturbed, while the world is puzzled, you pray and plan your next move. Don't fear the dark. Ask yourself, what did you learn in it? Adversity is our advantage. Decide to come out of this better. Find yourself in this elevated place. Don't fear the dark. Everybody wants it. We want promotion. We want the upgrade. We want advancement. We want to move up. We want to have a competitive advantage in the marketplace. My attention has been arrested by the conversation of the bird. You know, oftentimes learning to fly means falling from the nest and making that long trip back to it. And some birds never make it back to the top. But for the ones that do, once they learn to spread their wings, the game changes. Once they learn to start to spread their wings and then they begin to flap those wings, then all of a sudden their life goes to that next level. And I think a lot of you are stuck. You've spread your wings, but you're afraid to flap them because you're worried about what people are going to say about you. Baby bird don't care what anybody says about what it looks like in its process, because process precedes the breakthrough. There is something that is burning inside of us to go to the next level, to see this one thing that I'm about to bring to your attention. And if you're going to see it, if you're going to see breakthrough, then you are going to have to be okay with the process that is required, the preceding action and thoughts that are required to see this breakthrough. The baby bird spreads its wings, then it flaps its wings, and it flaps and flaps and flaps until the flapping becomes flight. And a lot of you are in this season called flapping. And you're like, man, this isn't flying. And you're looking at everybody and you're comparing yourself to everybody that's flying, and you're diminishing your process. You're diminishing your flapping season. Get through your flapping season with grace and faith. See, faith is an invitation to the future. Faith is the door. It is the pathway. It is the corridor to the future. And if you are going to fight for the future, you've got to fight with faith. Get through your flapping season. Get through your flapping season. I know you got tears in your eyes, but get through your flapping season and fight for flight, because eventually the flapping turns into flight. You've got to fight with faith. Get through your flapping season. Get through your flapping season. I know you got tears in your eyes, but get through your flapping season and fight for flight, because eventually the flapping turns into flight.
One of the best things you can ever do in your life is to change your words. I said one of the best things you can ever do in your life is change your words. There's a scripture in the Bible in Proverbs that says death and life are in the power of the tongue. In other words, your tongue, your words have the ability to shape your world. I said your words has the ability to shape your world. You can either speak death over your life, or you can begin to speak life over who you are. And you've got to get to a place where you stop talking death and start talking life. You got to get to a place where you say, you know what? I got to stop talking about what I don't have and who's not here and what someone didn't give me. I got to stop talking death and I got to start talking life. Your world is a result of words you have spoken. When you look at your life, I promise you there is a connection between the life you live and the words you have spoken. And I challenge you right now, you got to get to a place where you start speaking what you want to see. You got to say what you want to see. You got to say, I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. I want to build legacy. I want to be healthy. I want to have a good marriage. Matter of fact, just say I am. I am blessed. I am favored. I am healed. I am set free. I am victorious. I am an overcomer. I am overcoming these challenges. I am debt free. I am a powerful person. I am a spiritual person. I am a blessed man. I am a blessed woman. You got to speak not what you see, but what you want to see. When God in the Old Testament, whenever he wanted to change a person's destiny, he'd always change their name first. Why? Because your name gave you identity. Your name gave you purpose. And so if you look in the Bible, when God was getting ready to do something in someone's life in the Old Testament, oftentimes he changed their names. Because God has to change your name so he can change your confession. When God wants to take you to a new level, he has to give you a new name because that gives you new language. And he said, I don't want you calling yourself by your old name. Stop calling yourself who you used to be and start calling yourself who you're going to be. Stop calling yourself stupid. Stop calling yourself dumb. Stop calling yourself sick. Stop calling yourself fearful. Stop calling yourself afraid. That's your old name. That's who you used to be, but you're not that anymore. Right now, you got to declare, I'm not calling myself by my old name. I'm calling myself by my new name. And my new name is blessed. My new name is rich. My new name is healthy. My new name is powerful. My new name is confident. God says if you want to see different, you got to say something different. And my new name is blessed. The Bible says that Jesus is on a boat, and when he's on this boat, there's a storm, and the storm is there, and the winds are blowing, and the waves are going, and that the thunder is roaring and lightning, and there's this huge storm, so much so that the disciples think they're about to die. And I want to talk to somebody right now who feels like you're in a storm. You feel like you're overwhelmed by life. You feel like the waves of life are trying to take you out. I want to talk to somebody who feels like you're in the middle of a storm. A financial storm, a health storm, a relational storm. You just got the worst news of your life. Things you thought were supposed to happen didn't come to pass. You thought you'd be in a different place by now. You're looking at your age and you're saying, I can't believe I thought I'd be in a different place by this time. And so you feel like you're in the storm. You just got laid off. You feel like you're in the storm. The doctor just gave you a report that's crazy. You're in the storm. Your children are mad at you and you don't have the relationships that you want to have. But I want to tell you what Jesus did when he saw the storm. The Bible says that he got up. And the disciples are screaming and saying, do something, Jesus, help us. We're getting ready to die. Let me tell you what Jesus did. Jesus didn't cry. Jesus didn't complain. Jesus didn't get upset. The Bible says that Jesus looked at the storm and said, peace, be still. And when he spoke, the storm calmed down. The Bible says that Jesus didn't talk about the storm. The Bible says that Jesus spoke to the storm. And I want to talk to the person who spends all your time talking about every problem you have and what's wrong and what failed and what's messed up and how it's not coming together. I need you to do me a favor. Stop talking about your storm and start talking to your storm. That's right. Stop talking about the cancer and start talking to the cancer. Stop talking about the depression and start talking to the depression. And you got to look at your depression and say, depression, you got to get out my life. You got to get out my house. Why? Because this body doesn't belong to you. This mind doesn't belong to you. You got to stop talking about the sickness and you got to start talking to the sickness. And you got to tell the sickness, you got about 3 hours. You got about 3 days left in my life. You got to start talking to the chaos. You got to look your Goliath in the face and say, Goliath, I'm not backing up. I'm not backing down. You got to stand flat foot and talk to your storm. Stop talking about how bad the job is. Start talking to the job. You got to wake up every morning and say, this job is great. This job is good. This job is blessed. And because I have this job, I'm walking in on assignment. And because I'm in my assignment, I just know that this office is going to be filled with the best stuff that it needs to be filled with. Why? Because you stopped talking about it and you started talking to it. This job is blessed. And because I have this job, I'm walking in on assignment. And because I'm in my assignment, I just know that this office is going to be filled with the best stuff that it needs to be. Start talking to poverty. Stop talking about poverty and start talking to poverty and say, poverty, you are not welcomed in my life. Poverty, you are not welcomed in my home. Matter of fact, I crowned you a landlord right now. You are the landlord of your life and you have the right to serve an eviction notice over every tenant in your life that don't belong there. I dare you to serve an eviction notice over cancer. I dare you to serve an eviction notice over poverty. I dare you to serve an eviction notice over lack. You got to tell lack, get out my life. You don't belong here. You don't need to be in this room. Get away from me. Why? Because I am the landlord here and I speak to my storm and I tell my storm, peace, be still. You got to say something different. If you want to see something different, you got to say something different. Many of us, we love to read motivation. Many of us, we love to hear motivation. You can't just hear motivation. You got to speak motivation. You got to say what I'm saying. Don't just hear it and walk away from the video. No, you got to stop and say, what I just heard, I got to repeat. And come on, right now, you got to hear what I'm saying and you got to repeat it. I am winning. You're not losing. I'm winning. Come on, I'm overcoming. I'm getting through this. I'm overcoming this challenge. I'm going to get through this mountain. I am going to make it to my destiny. I'm going to see my promise. I'm going to reach my future. I am going to build my legacy. I am going to have these kids. I am going to find that special person. I am going to get this degree. I am going to buy that house. I am going to do it. I'm not just hearing it. I'm going to speak it into my life because my words can change and shift my world. I am going to find that special person. I am going to get this degree. I am going to buy that house. I am going to do it. I'm not just hearing it. I'm going to speak it into my life because my words can change and shift my world. I am going to find that special person. I am going to get this degree. I am going to buy that house. I am going to do it. I'm not just hearing it. I'm going to speak it into my life because my words change and shift my world.
Sometimes we give our best, but success never comes on our way. We lose hope. We feel discouraged. We feel like giving up. But remember, before you think of giving up, think first of everyone who never stops believing in you. Fight for them. Don't ever give up on your dreams because you have the ability. You are the right person who can make them come true. No matter how hard the challenge gets, or no matter how many people don't believe in your dream, never give up. Life isn't about the mistakes you have made. It's about how many times you have tried to make it right. No matter how hard it will be, just keep on going and never give up. Every problem comes with a solution. It's now up to you. If you wait patiently or you will choose to give up. Remember, no one wins without trying hard. Be positive. Try to move on. Do what you like. Do hard work. Put all your efforts in work. Then there is no one who can stop you from success. Trust in yourself, but most especially trust in the Lord. As long as God is with you, you can do all things. Do not lose hope. Do not give up. No failure is final. Keep on trying again and again. Have faith in yourself and give your best. You will surely succeed. Many people who have failed in life are the people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. There is only one difference between a successful person and a loser. That is never giving up. Try again, and success will be yours. But never stop trying. If you're gonna win and succeed, never give up. Were you inspired? Kindly don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.
You've probably heard this many times before. You have the potential to do anything you want and to become whoever you decide to become. You are capable of fulfilling all of your dreams and desires. Every single one of them. You're the only one who can stop yourself from succeeding in life. Now that you have been told it is possible you can achieve whatever you want in life, do you believe? Do you believe that it's possible for you to create your own dream life? Not the life that you were given when you were born, but your own dream life. What's stopping you from achieving it? What's stopping you from turning your dreams into reality? A recent study reported that over 50% of Americans hate their job. Over 50% hate what they do for the majority of their time on planet Earth. They wake up in the morning knowing that they have to go to a job that they hate. This is not only happening in America, it's happening all around the world. I think deep down, all of these people know they are capable of living a better life, capable of earning better money and doing things they enjoy if they are willing to work for it. But what stopped these people from living their dream life?
Think about a balloon filled with helium. There's absolutely no limits for a balloon filled with helium unless it were tied to something. If the balloon is tied to something, then it's impossible for it to reach the sky. It is impossible for it to reach its highest possible level. That's the only limitation a balloon has. the same thing can be compared to you and your life. You are limitless, just like the balloon. Your limitation is not visible. You're not tied down like the balloon. The only thing that ever stops you from reaching the sky is yourself. If you limit yourself, if you settle for less than your worth, if you listen to others and downgrade your expectations to fit into this world, then you will never reach the heights you know you deserve. You were not born with limitations. You develop them through your life experience, but you can decide now to develop new beliefs, a belief that you can have whatever you want in life if you are prepared to work for it, that you can have whatever you want in life if you are prepared to learn what is required to have it. Imagine what you could achieve if you believe you were limitless. Imagine what you could do if you just ignored that voice in your head that tells you that you can't do it. I don't see failure as the end, and I refuse to let setbacks or mistakes stop me from reaching my goals in life.
I am responsible for my dreams. I am responsible for my results, because I am the only one who can stop me from turning my dreams into a reality. I have the power to make my dream happen. I have the choice to decide if I will work hard for it or just settle. I have the choice to see how far I can go
in life. Those who succeed don't believe in limits. They study until they understand. They don't give up when they experience doubt. They don't give up when it's hard. They do not give up, full stop. They keep working hard even if they've been rejected. They keep at it. They keep searching for new opportunities. That's exactly how you have to be. Life is hard, and you'll never get far if you limit yourself in anything you do.
I have the power to make my dream happen. I have a choice to decide if I will work hard for it or just settle.
This is your life. Live it to your fullest potential. You can't change your past, but you do have the power to change your future.
Just settle.
This is your life. Live it to your fullest potential. You can't change your past, but you do have the power to change your future.
What does it take to be perfect? What does it take to exceed greatness? I have spent a lifetime searching for a formula that doesn't exist. Because when it's all said and done, it comes down to the 24 hours you're given and what you're prepared to do with it. In this life, there are people who hustle and there are people who watch. You simply need to choose who you are. I don't care if you want to be the next bodybuilder, the next CEO, the next entertainer, because it all comes down to a work ethic. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not willing to sacrifice for your dream, then you don't have a dream. I refuse to sit back and watch another man go after the same dream I have had since I was a child. I refuse to sleep tonight knowing I didn't give 100% in the 24 hours I was given, because nothing in this life is guaranteed. Nothing. So the next time that alarm goes off, I want you to think about this moment. You've got 24 hours to find a way to grind harder, to live harder, to fight harder. Because without that progression is failure. And understanding that is a step towards perfection. Understanding that is a step towards perfection.
I want you to think about something. Think about what you want. What career? What girlfriend? What weight? What house? What life? This is a very simple concept that you need to understand. You can do it. Anything. You can think it, dream it, feel it, want it. It's yours. All it takes to accomplish your goals is to believe in yourself. Mindset is above all else. Think about it. If you are working towards a goal, but the whole time you're thinking to yourself, this is so hard. I can't do this, but I have to. Can I even do this? Am I qualified enough? Am I enough? This will get you nowhere. In order to do the things you want to do and come out the other end successful, you need to instead say to yourself, this is challenging, but I can do this. I am doing this. I am qualified. I'm doing it. The mind is a powerful tool. It really does create your reality. Everything around you, from the clothes on your back, to the type of living situation you're in, to the friends in your life, is a manifestation of your mindset, of you thinking whether or not you deserve those things. This applies to everyone. There are two kinds of people. The ones who live a life full of complaints and disapproval for themselves. Then there are the ones who live a life of gratitude and confidence. Look, of course having confidence is hard. But if you believe that a life of abundance and success is meant for you, then it is. It's right in front of you, waiting for you, calling your name. All you need is to allow it in. Allow yourself to work towards your goals with a growth mindset. What is a growth mindset? It's all about leading a life of looking at hurdles and roadblocks as opportunities to overcome something. And I mean to really, well, grow from it. This is the only way to win. And it's something that's already inside of you. We all have it, but we all don't use it. Do you really think Steve Jobs, after being fired from his own company, looked around and thought, well, I guess I really can't do it? No. He used this as a learning lesson for himself. He went off and started a new company, became even more successful. And it wasn't long until his first company asked him to come back and develop the world's most valuable company, Apple. You need to look at that college rejection, job denial, breakup, as just one other hurdle you need to cross to reach your goal. It can happen, just like magic. It really is that simple. I'm not saying it won't be tough. I'm not saying it won't be long, grueling, and bitter work, because it will be. Every single no leads you closer to the best yes of your life. What's stopping you? Get up, get dressed, dance to some music, open the door, and go to that job. And ask for it. Be straight up. Be bold. Believe in yourself. How's that interviewer going to give you the job if you don't think you're ready for it? Because what you need to realize is, if you can't do it for yourself, how can you expect anyone else to? You have the ability to make your life what you want it to be. You can do anything, and I mean anything you set your mind to. All it takes is you. 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 You have the ability to make go out and do it. You can do anything, and I mean anything you set your mind to. All it takes is you. You. You.
You're here right now at this moment because tomorrow you want to be somebody greater than the person you are today. You see yourself succeeding, you have a vision, you have a dream. Congratulations. You're already 10 steps ahead of 95% of the world. You want to be somebody greater than the person you are. Imagine if Michael Jordan was scared of missing. He would have never taken a shot. You have a dream. Imagine if Steve Jobs was afraid of people not liking his product. There would be no iPhone. So ask yourself this: do you want to be a person who fears failure, or do you want to be a person who loves success? Which one? Because you're going to have to pick today. And I'll tell you one thing: one is a failure and one is a success. And if you love success, there is nothing that can stop you. All those negative things people say will mean nothing. They're going to talk about how only 1% make it to the top. Big deal. Want to know something else? Only 1% stick with that fitness program long enough to see results. Only 1% of nerds stick with that video game long enough to get good at it. Only 1% of relationships stick it out to the end. That doesn't mean you have a 1% chance. It just means you can't behave like the 99%. You'll have to do something better than giving up a month from now. Those are just numbers. You want to talk about numbers? Take a look around you and take a good look around you. Are you like 99% of the people around you? If you are, then you're in the wrong video, my friend. You have to love success just as much, because that's what's going to allow you to get up and go for it. Being scared to fail won't do anything. In fact, when you love success and you start going for it, guess what happens? You're gonna fail. You're gonna fail 10 times, 100 times, maybe even 1,000 times. But that's okay. Failure isn't permanent. Falling isn't permanent. You get right back up and keep going. And this time, you're gonna be stronger, wiser, and you'll be more driven than ever. And for every 10 failures, you'll land one success. You have to love success so much that you're willing to fail 10 times before you can succeed once. That's how a winner does it. And you'll be more driven than ever.
I'm not gonna lie. They had us. We were defeated, but they had us. But it took guts, it took an attitude. That's all it takes. That's all it takes to be successful, is an attitude. And that's what our coach told us. He said, hey, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna go out there, you're gonna battle, you're gonna fight, you're gonna do it for one, you're gonna do it for one another. Do it for each other, you're gonna do it for yourself, you're gonna do it for us, and you're gonna go out with this win. And we believe that, we truly did. And it's an awesome feeling. It's an awesome feeling when you truly believe that you're going to be successful. Regardless of the situation, regardless of the scoreboard, you're going to be successful because you put in all the time, all the effort.
Misses that shot, can't land it. So it is going to be that retake scenario. Crims has the kid.
Running close towards CT. Zivnik spots 3 of them out, but it's Olaf again to find device. And Olaf coming in with 4. He wants the ace, and he gets it. There we go. What a superstar performance from that man.
I was walking down the street and I saw an old man. Had a hat, suspenders, and a cane. Was about 80 years old. This old man was barely walking. He could walk, but the cane helped a lot. He was struggling. So anyway, he was walking across the street and he ended up falling. So I went over to go help him. And he gets up, says thank you, and we introduced ourselves. Had a little conversation. Told me his name and I told him mine. His name was Robert, by the way. And right as he walked away, I told him, this is what I said. Robert, you should stay inside where it's safe, my friend. And Robert turns around and says to me, I love walking. And I love walking way more than I'm afraid of falling. So I asked him, well, what about your safety? Don't you want to live? And he told me this. These are the exact words he said. He said this: Solo, living means doing what you love to do. And if I had to fall here and there to do what I want to do in life, then so be it. And he just walked away. Never saw him again. That was it. Exact words he said. He said this. But that statement really had me thinking. And it had me thinking hard, because I learned something that day. That's when I realized the true key to success. You see, I always thought if I could just fear the act of failing, and if I fear it like crazy, I will succeed. Because I thought the fear would magically motivate me to get out there and start taking action. But after that day, I realized something. I realized it's the love for success that will lead me to succeeding. So just imagine if Robert feared falling. Would he even start walking? Of course not. He wouldn't even do what he loved to do. He would sit at home and take no type of action. But he loved walking. Wasn't even scared to fall. It gave him life. That's what allowed him to get up and do it. He loved walking so much, he was willing to fall 10 times a day just to do it. And you have to be the same. So the next time someone tells you, you're gonna fail, you know what you tell them? That's what allowed him to get up and do it. Tell them they're right. But you're not afraid to fail. You're not afraid to take action. You're not afraid to jump. You're gonna fail 10 times, but you know what? It's cool. Because on the 11th time, you'll succeed. Oh, you'll succeed all right. And it'll feel good. And while you're over here living the life of your dreams and complete happiness, guess where they're gonna be? That's right. They'll be failures, the real failures. Over there where it's safe. Scared to fail. Ironic, isn't it? Guess where they're gonna be? Because on the 11th time. That's right. They'll be failures, the real failures. Over there where it's safe. Scared to fail.